Hi, this is indie artist Debra Cohen, and I'd like to talk to you singers out there that might be like me, realizing that you need a hearing aid but don't want to use one for whatever reason. It's almost like a stigma I've discovered. I started out in a rock band in the 70s in Boston, and I had a Les Paul guitar, which is still with me, and played through a Marshall stack. And if you know what that is, it's very loud, like Jimi Hendrix used to use Marshall stacks, one of my heroes. And, after I would play a gig, my ears would ring, and it got to bother me after a while. And I went to at that time, Mass Eye and Ear, and asked the doctor, hey, what's up with this ringing in my ears? And he said, well, it's from that loud rock music you're playing. And he said at the time, this is in the 70s, said if you, actually by the time I went to the doctor, it was in the 80s. And he said, if you keep this up with the volume for your ears, you're not going to have any hearing by the time you're 40. And then I'm like, I just laughed at him. I thought, I'm sure, really. Didn't believe him. Well, here I am now in my 70s, and I'm desperate to be able to hear people. And the hardship of not wearing hearing aids, regardless of whether you're a singer or not, is that you start to isolate yourself sitting at a social function like, a potluck dinner or restaurant or whatever, and you can't hear what people are saying, and you get upset with them because they sound like they're mumbling, and it's very frustrating. So, I was turning into a hermit. But I want to go out and gig and socialize and be with people. So I tried a few over-the-counter hearing aids and no go. I mean, even though I could hear the TV better, the problem I discovered in trying to buy cheap ones is that it turns everything up. It's like a volume control. It doesn't isolate the volume of the speaker that you're talking to. It turns everything up. So I was wearing these over-the-counter hearing aids, and I couldn't wait to try them. When I finally, got over myself and thought, okay, so I'm wearing a hearing aid, so what? Okay, so I'm thinking, why do I hear this guy at the table behind me louder than the people I'm trying to talk to at this table? And that's the classic problem with most hearing aids. Plus, if you're a singer and you need to harmonize with somebody, I was hearing myself louder than the person that I'm singing with. So it messes up your own judgment of how loud your voice has to be. Plus, you're like wondering, you can't really hear what the other person is singing. That's not going to work. So I did a lot of research because the audiologist that I went to recommended whatever they had in stock, which were very expensive hearing aids, but they weren't good for singers, and they turned up the background noise. So I'm cautioning you because I've gone through a couple of years of experimenting with hearing aids only to find the right ones. And I'm going to recommend them to you without shame because I've noticed that people that wear hearing aids, they try to hide them, I'm wearing mine right now. If you're like trying to be rock star cool, you don't want to have this big clunky thing hanging out of your ear. Well, I've got one on, and let's see, I'll turn this way. So I don't know if you can see it, but it's right here. It rests on top of your ear, and it's attached to the hearing aid itself. It's tiny, it's not teeny tiny, but this little thing fits in your ear, this little thing here, and this clips over the top of your ear, and that is your hearing aid. And it's called a Signia Pure C, the letter C is in cat, and G. C&G, which means Charge&Go, BCT, capital B, capital C, capital T, IX. That's what it's called. Signia Pure Charge&Go BCT IX. And apparently they have several versions of this, so you need to get the latest version. The IX, I guess, is the latest version. Now, what it does is great because it comes with its own app. So you can put the app on your phone. It has a volume control that controls the hearing aids. Another cool thing it has is sound balance, so you can control the sharp or the softness of somebody's voice or whatever you're listening to. And this is what makes this hearing aid stand out from the rest. It has directional hearing. So most hearing aids I've tried to use don't have this, which is the problem with hearing background noise too much. So you can direct where you want the microphone to focus. In this case right now, it's everybody in front of you, or you can put it everybody behind you or beside you, and that makes what you want to hear louder than the other gray area that's blocked out. It's marvelous. So, and also the way it fits in my ear, I have no problem hearing other singers. And when I first started wearing these, I thought, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to wear just one so I can hear the other people singing, because that's what I was doing with all of the other brands I tried. This one here, I put both of them in. I can hear what people are saying to me. I can hear people singing. I can hear myself singing. And that is essential for any singer that's serious about singing, publicly or otherwise, glee club, choir, whatever. So again, get the Pure Charge&Go. B as in boy, C as in Charles, T as in Tom, IX. And it has a charger. It's like good for 15 hours, I believe. It's got buttons on the hearing aid itself. It's got 2 buttons. You can't see it because it's black. But so the short press on the top button can make everything louder, or a medium press for 1 to 3 seconds gives you program up. On the bottom button, it's got short press, makes everything softer, and medium press 1 to 3 seconds, program down, or a long press on the bottom button for 3 seconds is the on and off button for these things. And another great thing which I needed, because where I go in my congregation, we have something called the T-coil. And a lot of the upscale hearing aids don't have T-coil. This hearing aid here has a thing on the top called universal, which means in the app that's for regular hearing aid use. But you can switch it. Let's see if I can do this while I'm looking at it. Oops. To induction loop, and that is the T-coil. So you can flip, as long as you have your app with you, you can flip back and forth. There might be a way to do it without the app, but I haven't figured that out yet, because these are like, I've had them for 2 weeks. I listen, like when somebody's on the microphone and I can't hear them, I just go to this induction loop and it turns up their microphone. And if I can hear them fine, then I go back to the universal program. It's fantastic. I would highly recommend this. All you rock stars out there that are looking. Also what it does is when you're on universal and you got the hearing aids in your ears, you can stream music into your hearing aids. I had a little bit of a challenge doing that, because at first the audiologist didn't know how to program these hearing aids with the right frequency, so the equalizer wasn't right, and I had to bring it back twice. And of course they'll tell you that it's you. I said, look, when I turn up my phone, these things aren't being affected, because they should be. You're controlling it from the app. Well, there's also the Bluetooth, which you should be able to control the hearing aid from your Bluetooth. So when you're streaming from the phone volume. and I was turning up my phone, and like it's not getting louder here, but as soon as I'd shut off my hearing aids, the streaming would go to my phone and it would be perfectly loud. What I'm trying to say is it wasn't loud in the hearing. I like to listen to my streaming music loud. You know, come on. I'm a bass person. I love bass guitar and I want to hear it. So anyway, so the problem was the audiologist didn't have the right programming, and I had to bring it back. Like by the third time she got it. And you can stream and hear like YouTube or Spotify or whatever you're listening to in your hearing aids. Nobody else needs to know what you're listening to. It's quiet to everybody else. It's like earbuds, but you're hearing the music right into your hearing aids. So you don't have to take these out and then put in your earbuds. You don't have to do that. So I hope that's been helpful for you, and I would highly recommend these hearing aids for any singer that wants to continue being who you are, a rock star. This is Debra Cohen. Check out my music if you're into praise, although I do write some sync music for TV, film, and movies. DebraCohenmusic.com. Thank you.